Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, firefighters work to contain wildfires that erupted across the Carolinas during the weekend. Plus, President Donald Trump touts a $100 billion investment in the U.S., while tariffs on Mexico and Canada are set to take effect within hours.
Wind advisory begins tomorrow, and that's just a precursor as to what's to come Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll plot everything out coming up.
Dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. We want to begin with some breaking news just in from Governor Beshear's office. Some tough news that I'll read straight off his Facebook page. He says, quote, unfortunately, a tough update tonight. We've lost one more Kentuckian due to the severe weather that goes back to the Valentine's Day weekend flooding. There are now 24 deaths in the state, and this is an eastern Kentucky death as well. A man from Floyd County, his death was floodwater related, and he asked for prayers for that family. I believe that's 8 eastern Kentuckians among the 24 that were killed in weather-related deaths across the state. Again, 8 of those in eastern Kentucky and 4 were actually just in Pike County, but now a second death reported in Floyd County. That's all we know about that particular death at this time. Well, the weather was nice today to start the work week, but some big changes are coming again. The biggest weather threat the next couple of days might be the strong wind. Meteorologist Eric Dean kicks off our severe weather alert day coverage. Eric.
That's right, Steve. The big story is going to be the wind, and the other key component about this, and we'll talk about this coming up in just a couple seconds, the low humidity and the low dew point. When you get that wind in play and that low humidity and dew point, that does cause some ingredients for some fire concerns. Take a look here at the wind advisory. That starts Tuesday afternoon for Rockcastle, Pulaski, Laurel, Wayne County, Kentucky, McCreary, Whitley, and Campbell County. This will expire Wednesday at midnight. And again, we were talking about the dew point and the humidity. Look at some examples here towards Louisa. Our temperature is 50 degrees. Humidity is down to 17%. Dew point is 7. So it's very, very dry across eastern Kentucky. Look at Breathitt County near Jackson. 54 is the current temperature. Humidity is down to 16. Our dew point is 9. Again, very dry across eastern Kentucky. Temperatures right now are in the 60s in Manchester as well as Harlan, 58 in Middlesboro, 59 in Williamsburg, 60 in Monticello, 52 in Prestonsburg, Pikeville. Good afternoon to you. You're at 51 degrees. High pressure is in control on the satellite and radar, but as we go into the evening and overnight hours, we'll see temperatures in the upper 30s and low 40s. We'll talk about more about that wind coming up in the first alert forecast in a few minutes. Steve.
So certainly the fire danger is going to be high the next couple of days, and that has also been an issue in other states. An air quality alert is in effect for Myrtle Beach and the rest of Horry County, South Carolina, because of smoke from wildfires. Officials say they responded to hundreds of fires in both North and South Carolina during the weekend. CBS's Dave Malkoff is in Myrtle Beach with the latest.
This is absolutely insane.
Drivers faced a wall of wildfire smoke on a highway near Myrtle Beach Monday. Local fire officials expect the haze to stick around for another few days as they work to contain the fires.
We advise everyone to stay inside and stay out of the smoke. And if you see flames, call 911.
Volunteer firefighter Desmond Bowen says he's amazed to be part of such a huge emergency response.
I hadn't seen this many fire trucks and firefighters and only on TV.
South Carolina's biggest wildfire in more than 15 years forced evacuations over the weekend. The governor declared a state of emergency and issued an outdoor burning ban. And this is part of the problem right here. Listen to this. I'm going to put it right up to my microphone. That is crispy, crispy fuel for this fire. Fires need the fuel, they need low humidity, they need high heat, and they need high winds, and that's what they got.
By the time that you go and try to find an extinguisher or a water source, it's already beyond control.
Crews were able to keep these massive flames away from homes over the weekend.
It was a little bit scary with flames coming out of the tops of trees near homes.
And volunteers say they will continue to offer food and aid for as long as the firefighters need it. Dave Malkoff, CBS News, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Now, amazingly, so far no homes have been damaged by the fire near Myrtle Beach. No cause is known yet for the Covington Drive fire, one of the biggest burning right now. One person is dead after a restaurant caught fire in Harrogate, Tennessee. The Claiborne County Sheriff told our sister station in Knoxville the Bronco Mexican restaurant caught fire, which prompted responses from police and firefighters in that area. After the fire was put out, firefighters found a body in the building. No word on the name of the person found. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is looking into the fire. Several communities are coming together to help a family through a tragic loss after an 11-year-old boy died in Washington County. Benton Boone Lester died after the ATV he was on crashed near his home in the Mackville community. Deputies with the sheriff's office say Lester was operating the ATV when it dropped off the side before hitting a culvert. Benton's pastor, Jordan Simpson, says he truly lived a full life from the farm to the fields with faith at the center.
I call him Davy Crockett Jr. He just lived the outdoors. But all along with that, Benton had one of the most sweetest, purest hearts of anybody I've ever met. I think to best describe him, he was about a 70-year-old man trapped in a 11-year-old body. He loved to go up to the country store and have breakfast with the old timers and swap stories, and that was his generation.
The funeral for Lester will be at 2 p.m. on Friday at Perryville Baptist Church. Meanwhile, a teenager was also killed while operating an ATV in Lawrence County in a separate incident. We'll have more about that coming up at 6. A man has pleaded guilty to shooting and killing people at a July 4th parade in Illinois. Robert Cremo III pleaded guilty to murder and attempted murder. He opened fire during Highland Park's 2022 Independence Day parade, killing 7 people and injuring dozens of others. Police say Cremo confessed to the shooting, but he rejected a plea deal last year. Cremo is expected to get life in prison without the possibility of parole. President Trump says one of the world's largest chip makers is expanding its U.S. manufacturing plans ahead of what could be more tariffs beginning tomorrow. CBS's Erica Brown is in Washington with that story and the latest on what happened after the Ukrainian president's contentious meeting in the Oval Office Friday.
President Trump announced plans for the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company to invest $100 billion in U.S. chip manufacturing. TSMC makes roughly 90% of the world's advanced computer chips, the kind needed for the artificial intelligence race.
This is a tremendous move by the most powerful company in the world. It's a matter of economic security. It's also a matter of national security for us.
The move comes as Trump pushes companies to build in America or be hit with tariffs.
If they did them in Taiwan to send them here, they'll have 25% or 30% or 50% or whatever the number may be someday. It'll go only up. But by doing it here, he has no tariff, so he's way ahead of the game.
The president says 25% tariffs on goods coming in from Mexico and Canada are set to take effect Tuesday.
No room left for Mexico or for Canada. No, the tariffs, they're all set.
The Trump administration is also continuing its standoff with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky after Friday's contentious Oval Office meeting.
You're gambling with World War III.
Zelensky pushed the U.S. to agree to a peacekeeping mission if a truce with Russia can be negotiated, warning Russian President Vladimir Putin can't be trusted to keep his word. But Trump insists Zelensky is resisting efforts to end the 3-year-long war.
He said he thinks the war's going to go on for a long time, and he better not be right about that.
European leaders held a meeting with Zelensky over the weekend, reinforcing their support for Ukraine. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
Multiple U.S. officials tell CBS News that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has ordered the U.S. Cyber Command to pause all planning against Russia, including offensive digital actions. Senator Ted Cruz, First Lady Melania Trump, and others participated in a roundtable in support of the Take It Down Act today. The bill would mandate the removal of deepfakes and disturbing content online. During the roundtable, the First Lady said by advocating the bill, Congress can take a step toward ensuring accountability and fostering responsible online behavior. The bill has passed the Senate, but not the House. Today, Pope Francis suffered from 2 episodes of acute respiratory failure after he was taken off a ventilator yesterday. The Vatican says he was put back on the ventilator, but he remains alert. The 88-year-old pontiff was first admitted on February 14th with double pneumonia. There are no current plans to move him out of the hospital and back to his residence. Pope Francis will not lead the Ash Wednesday service, according to the Vatican. March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, and one survivor and advocate is trying to help bring attention to the disease. Amy Jensen was diagnosed with stage 3 rectal cancer 5 years ago at the age of 41. She is currently battling metastatic disease in her pelvic wall, undergoing systemic chemotherapy as her only option. Jensen is traveling to Washington this month to lobby Congress for $20 million in research.
Along with more treatment options that other cancers have that we don't have, where some of our treatment options are as old as the 1980s. I don't want other people to have to go through what I've had to endure and how it's affected my family.
Colorectal cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths in the United States. It is also increasing among younger people. Doctors recommend everyone age 45 and older get screened. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, thinking about a home renovation? Why you need to make sure your budget can handle any surprises before you grab that paintbrush.
And get ready for a windy Tuesday, a little bit of rain on Wednesday, and snow chances Wednesday night. Details in a few minutes.